Lately, I've been having this recurring dream. I'm back in high school. It's somewhere around 65 or 66. Long hair and mini skirts are much in evidence, as are acne and arcane expressions. I never realized language had descended to such a low ebb. Nonetheless, I'm hey-manning and far outing with the rest of the rabble as I preen and parade about the lockered halls. After a time, I engage Susan Robinson in a very deep and meaningless discussion about the Yardbirds' latest release. Just as I'm coming to the crux of my argument, I hear her tits call out to me, "Shawcross, cut with the fucking bullshit and make a grab for us. We're pert and perky and love to be licked." I stop in mid-sentence, like a freight train derailing. All my fine motor skills go skidding, pell-mell, into the chasm this non-sequitur of mammary origin has created. My eyeballs bulge from their sockets. Moreover, my tongue refuses to form intelligible sounds. McGuff, brr, brr, woof, floom, gup, ew. Pardon me, she queries, still engrossed in the vacuous discourse. Meanwhile, her breasts continue their taunt. "Come the fuck on, you stallion. Squeeze us, please us, tell us you need us." I'm totally immobilized by this last salvo and begin to list to starboard. Fortunately, Susan has been distracted by the appearance of her best friend, Mary Jo Kopechne, who flounces up and begins telling of an upcoming trip to Massachusetts. This timely reprieve allows me to partially right my floundering senses. I stoop down and pretend to tie my shoes. Except I'm wearing beetle boots. I go through the motions anyway, silently cursing under my breath. Finally, I gain the courage to stand. The hall is empty, save for the merest trace of perfume. From around the corner comes John Fleury, in a most agitated state. "Gee, Shock, they're all set up and waiting for you." "What are you squawking about, Jake? Hey, did you see Susan Robinson go by?" "The street dance, you complete mental case." "Nice memory, Shock. Here, I'll get you to do my homework." I assume he's referring to the street dance I was supposed to play in the summer of '66, but missed on account of the fact that I was working nights at Sara Lee Kitchens in Bramalea and had to get Dave Moon to fill in for me. I was saving for a new drum set that summer. It didn't occur to me to call in sick at the time. I follow him out of the school and down McMurtry Avenue, where a huge crowd is gathered. My best friend, Walt Lapertz, rushes up, guitar in hand. "Shock, come on, we're on now." I see the rest of the band. They're busy tuning up, so I walk on over to the drums and sit down. All of a sudden, without so much as a 1, 2, 3, 4, from me no less, they start into a Stones tune. "Hey, what about the count?" I holler as I grab for the sticks and come in about the fourth bar. Notwithstanding the shaky beginning, the band is really cooking, particularly for a bunch of 16-year-olds. Even Steve Matthews, the rhythm guitarist, par mediocre, is wailing. Match struts out into the surging crowd, grinning and bobbing his head like a rear window car ornament. Chunky power chords reverberate through the warm summer evening, while flaxen-tressed maidens sway. A trillion hormones cavort. I'm in teenage mutant ninja drummer's heaven. The song ends in an extended flurry of paradiddles and shrieking. Yes, shrieking. Someone has spilled Coke on Doug Mills' bass, which is shorting out in a 4th of July-style shower of sparks. The crowd, electrical geniuses all, figure this is all part of the act and break into enthusiastic applause as Millsy spasmodically hurtles his body about in a vain attempt to elude the dancing electrons. Mr. Roman Candle ends the episode in high dramatic fashion by hurling the offending instrument through the front of the amplifier. The crowd goes fucking berserk. "All right! Far fucking out, man! Hey, it's the goddamn Who! He hooed the guitar! Did you see that mother who the guitar?" Mills staggers over to where Walt is stationed and plugs his bass into Walt's already overloaded Silvertone. A multi-channeled, grossly underpowered piece of garbage, the main feature of which is an outdated reverb that makes you sound like you're playing in a deep-sea cave. "What's next?" I call over to the singer, Steve Wright. "Yeah, I know what you're thinking. 3 Steves in the same band. Hey, it's the 60s. Everybody was called Steve or Ken or Pete before some mother in California rediscovered the long-lost book of what's names and infested the planet with hordes of hackers answering to Jason, Josh, Julian, and Tristan. A kid with a moniker like that would have had his nuts kicked daily back then. Wright's too busy fluffing his blonde locks to hear me, so I try and get Walt's attention. He's chatting to a throng of adoring fans who have strategically placed themselves so as to maximize their collective ability to watch his crotch and be seen at the same time. A complex and arduously calculated maneuver that had a direct bearing on one's social standing during the critical, terminally spaced, pre-orgasmic, oxymoronic phase of female adolescent development. Actually, for most of the opposite gender, this is a permanent state. Now he's totally engulfed by female admirers. So I turn my attention back to Wright. He too is surrounded. Geez, guys, where's my set list? What's next? Who's on first? I'm becoming more and more anxious when from out of nowhere, a loud voice announces, "And now we are pleased to feature on the drums, Steve Shawcross." What the fuck are you talking about? It's the second tune, for Christ's sakes. You don't have a drum solo, you... Hey, Steve, Walt, where's the set list? What drum solo? No one answers. In fact, no band member appears to be in the vicinity. All eyes are suddenly cast in my direction. An ominous hush has descended upon the mass. "Go, Shock!" screams a voice that can only be Flurry's. "Let's do it, Shock!" implores another. Suddenly the crowd is animated. They're pumped. They want drums. They want them loud. They want them now. So I start quietly on the floor tom, a low rumble, with the occasional accent. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-bam, bam, boom, bam, ba-doom, ba-doom, bomb, boom, bam, boom. I drift up to the tenor tom, executing a tricky crossover, increasing speed and volume as I go. I switch into a triplet feel, adding bass drum and a pulsing hi-hat. Then a few cymbal crashes for color. I pick up the pace again, doubling the strokes and giving the phrases more of a polyrhythmic flavor. "Ginger Baker, eat your heart out. This good you never sounded." I am smoking. I can't believe it. I sound incredible. I'm approaching Billy Cobham intensity. My hands are a blur. My body a totally synchronized machine. I'm in Teenage Mutant Ninja Drummer's heaven once more, when all of a sudden I break a stick. No big deal. And then the other one. Okay, I'll just give him some fast-paced bass drum while I reach into the stick bag and retrieve another pair. Okay, good, now back to the snare drum. Except I'm flailing away at the kit with two largest pieces of celery. Schlappida, schlappida, schmushida, schmuck. I toss these behind me and go back to the bass drum, frantically grabbing for the stick bag in the meantime. At that precise moment, the bass pedal comes flying off. Okay, so I'll finish up with my hands. A bit anticlimactic, but entirely acceptable. Except that the drum heads have gone extremely loose, so much so that they're barely audible. I'm crying out for help, like, break into a tune, guys. But when I look up, the whole place is deserted, save for a short, kind of chubby guy called Victor Dimshits, who's a bit of a loser. Hey, Victor, where the hell did everybody go? I was just... And then it was... They've all gone down to the Purple Candle Club. Larry J. Universe and the Galaxies are playing a midnight gig. Those assholes? How did they get a gig there? They're completely fucking useless. Way better than your group any day, Shawcross. I can't believe my ears. This guy is usually friendly and sort of wimpy to boot. I walk away in disgust, mumbling how I'm going to cream the dork the next time I see him in real life. The once balmy evening has turned quite chilly as I head down to the Perp. Along the way, I run into Bob Homer Holmes, a long-standing school friend who's outfitted in full hockey gear, minus the skates. Hey, Shock, where's your stuff? The game starts in half an hour. In the summer? I blurt out in amazement. Sober up and have a drink, Shock. It's March 29th, and Night of the Little Champs is T-minus 30 and counting. But I can't, oh, forget it. Hey, aren't you kind of cold? Come to think of it, I'm goddamn freezing. So I break into a trot and head over to Elliott Street, where the hockey arena is located. The dressing room reeks of sweat and ammonia as I make for an unoccupied corner and begin to suit up. The place is in the usual uproar, with guys heaving balled-up tape and gobbing on each other. Sammy Charters is slapping a puck against the wall, while the Howard brothers argue over a jockstrap. Amid the din, the coach is trying to explain strategy for the upcoming game. I finish lacing my skates and we're on. The crowd erupts as we hit the ice. The rink is jammed to capacity with mums and dads, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, friends and enemies alike. In other words, a lot of jerks wearing toques and spilling hot chocolate all over each other. The action is fast-paced, and after 3 periods, we're deadlocked at 2-2. Now it's overtime. The next goal wins the Bantam Division Championship, the same championship that eluded me when I was 13 by a score of 2-3 in overtime. Redemption time is nigh. I've waited 26 years to replay the game that spoiled an undefeated season. Victory is within my grasp. I mean, I know what happened and when it happened. I have the chance to rewrite the record book. I get shifted first, and when the puck is shot into our end, I race back and recover it behind the net. I'm all set for a rush down the ice and an almost certain score when my gaze drifts for the merest instant into the crowd. It alights upon Susan Robinson, who is sitting 3 rows back, legs akimbo. Her skirt has risen to the upper reaches of her muscular thighs. I do a double take when I come to the realization that she is without underwear. God in heaven, I cry. And in the next instant, I'm deep-sixed by a robust body check. When I recover, play has been carried down the ice, and I groggily make for the opposing end. I arrive in time to receive a perfect pass. Deking around and onrushing forward, I move into the slot and wind up for a slap shot of cannonading proportions. Time appears to stand still. The crowd is frozen. The players move as if underwater. I begin the downward stroke in one long fluid motion. My grip is like iron. My entire being is focused on the task at hand. I am Hercules unchained. The stick arcs forward, except that it isn't a stick anymore, but a giant tube sock. It smites the puck with all the force of a marshmallow hitting a lead weight, nudging it onto the blade of a fast-skating forward who veers to the right and heads up the ice on a clear-cut breakaway. I turn in pursuit, but my skates feel awfully dull all of a sudden. Just then someone screams, "Look out behind you, Shock!" I turn in time to see a huge clown with a whining chainsaw, fresh from hacking a player's arm off, bulleting after me. His eyes are maniacal. His teeth are rotten stumps. I lash out at him with my giant tube sock before skating away at a snail's pace up the ice. It's like running in cement. Christ, I hiss, bearing down, but in fact moving slower. The clown is closing. This is hopeless, so I start flapping my arms like a turkey vulture. I immediately gain about 8 feet in altitude, kicking my legs out to avoid the whirring, razor-sharp chain. A few more flaps, and I'm up in the rafters, surveying the ice rink from a dizzying height. The organist launches into a throaty version of Born to be Wild, while the crowd claps in unison, on the beat, of course. It's a curse put on white people by black jazz slaves for inventing the polka. Then the lights go out, and I grope my way through a trapdoor and out onto the roof. It's a cloudless night. The stars cast an eerie glow on the dome-shaped roof. I begin to contemplate the universe in all its complexity. But you know, it's really quite simple. If you can make it to 40 with all your organs and most of your own hair, then you've done okay, even if you didn't win the night of little champs. Anything on top of that is gravy and biscuits. And with these morsels of fortified wisdom, I stride off into the darkness in search of Susan Robinson.